I definitely feel the boy code, it starts off young, and it kind of is the idea of masculinity and the ideal man, what we're all striving to be. So, when I think of the ideal man, I think of, someone who's tough, rough, and manly, who can hold his own in a fight, because even I remember this being a kid, we always had to do manly things, play sports, even if that really wasn't what you wanted to do at the time. Out socially with little boys, when I was playing around, I couldn't do things that I really wanted to do, or else I would be deemed weak.
I remember being called, a fag or things like that all the time because because you didn't do what everybody else was doing, or, you looked weird, or I remember that being kind of like the blanket term for just people that weren't being normal.
It started about 7th grade when I really kind of noticing more insecurities and like this need to fulfill a certain viewpoint. He's a guy, he plays football, he plays basketball and baseball, he's got to look a certain way, he's got to act a certain way. Well, it's more so the looking for me, it's not necessarily the acting, because I like the type of person that I am, but the type of person that I am on the inside. However, I'm still working on the outward appearance.
Definitely through middle school and most of my high school, I was a kid that never really quite fit in. And I got picked on a lot in high school, emotionally, physically a little bit. I got pushed around a lot. And my confidence level is down quite a bit. So I guess the kids that stray out of the boy code are picked on. They're called names like faggot and gay and bitch.
In elementary school, if you were different, you definitely got kicked outside like the circles, and you definitely were treated different and outcasted substantially.
It can just be brutal. It can be so hurtful in the end and just so intense. You can't believe that it's kids saying these. Where would kids hear this word and think that that's something that's all right to call someone else? You can tell that they're not inventing this culture. They've been told from someone older than them that knew those words how to be a man.
At recess, it's like all the guys would play football and that kind of stuff, and it's like if there was a guy who would be playing tag with girls or something, it's like, oh my gosh, you're not cool.
I wanted to grow out my long hair, so I was all proud, and I started wearing my hair back in a ponytail, and I was like, oh, I feel like a rock star. And then at preschool, I got called a girl, and then the kids spit on me, and it's like little sissy, and I was like, I just want to be a rock star.
The insults were geared towards making you feminine. Just derogatory homosexual slang words and that kind of stuff was used all. It just kind of creates this image in your mind that being feminine is not cool, and it's gonna make me lose my friends.
In the boy code, you're supposed to see women as lesser beings, which is outrageous, but showed respect towards women. It was almost like, wait, hold up, you actually do respect them, which is really strange and actually sad that if you don't call a girl a slut or don't call a girl a whore or a bitch or something like that, that you're gonna get ridiculed.
Using sensitive words is kind of prohibited. You wouldn't talk about, oh, her skin is so soft. You would just kind of be like, oh, she's hot.
Yeah, you gotta put on a new face. You can't be the sensitive guy around your friends. You're the wussy. It's a vulnerability thing, I think. A lot of guys see that sensitivity as a weakness.
It's one of those things you don't want to show vulnerability, because if it's you versus another guy and you're showing a vulnerable side, someone's gonna look at you and be like, that guy's weak.
As a male, you take a second guess of if you really should express it. If you're feeling sad one day and you feel like you want to cry, you have to sit back and wait, I gotta keep my cool here and make sure that I don't show anybody else that I have this weakness. And I think a lot of boys will end up taking those emotions and they'll turn them into anger just so that they are accepted.
But seriously, just being at a movie seeing my dog skip with your friends or something, and then it's just like, oh my god, that dog just died, I don't want to cry. And it's just like, no! And you just like refuse to allow that.
Well, I played hockey through high school, so it was kind of like I was expected to be, you know, you can't play hockey and then go and cry when you get, you can't be wimpy, and if you are, you'll get outcasted within you know, hockey players. So definite push to be, you know, tough and not show pain or weakness. My senior year, I didn't even play hockey because probably for that reason I just felt so much pressure. I got away from team sports and kind of switched over into individual sports and activities where it was just me. So it only pleased myself. I didn't have to try to act and please other people. You know.
Well, I could tell even as a kid that I knew I was on the outside for not liking sports, but I just couldn't force myself into doing it. Music was kind of an outlet that no one could really rag on you for. You know, there's nothing inherently gay or not masculine about liking music.
The boy code pressured me to do, you know, sports, which I personally didn't want to, but I found out that I enjoyed, you know, playing football. It's a double-edged sword, you know. I would say, you know, there's a lot of things I wish I would have felt more comfortable doing sooner. What I do now with like drawing and painting, I wish I would have started that earlier. I mean, I always doodled and all that, but I wish I would have taken it more seriously. I felt like not a man for doing it.
I spend a lot of nights depressed. A lot of weeks go by where I felt like me being whoever I am in here made me lose my friends, made me lose any of the respect that I had, made me get picked on in school. So I had to choose, do I be who I am and disregard any of that other negative stuff, or do I put myself to the back burner and put on a fake just to maybe fit in?